Hey friends, it's me Cynthia, and I'm here with Azalea, and this is our magic hour, our Sunday magic hour. So today we have our lot sale, live sale. We made some castings through the week. We have a few stones, and I'm going to show you. I briefly showed, I think, was it last week? No, last week I did the, what did I do? We did wire wrapping, and while that was fun, it only highlighted my inability to wire wrap on camera because it's tough. I don't know if you all have ever done it, but wire wrapping from here, even with optivisors, it's a challenge. Usually when I'm wire wrapping, it's like this. It's right, I got my face right up against it because then I'm braced and I can see it. It's hard to do it from, under and look through a screen. Very challenging. So today I'm going to show you something I am good at, and that is putting a patina on some of these pewter pieces. And not just any patina, I'll show you how to do a color shift with pigment powders. And I did this, and the reason I'm going to show you is because I did a whole mess of them for Beads of Courage. And we did a thing for, it's called, the theme was fantasy, right? So they picked out our castle bead, and when I was showing it, I did this, I said, they were like, well, what can we do to make it more interesting? So I could put this patina on it. It'll be really pretty. And it's not difficult, but it is kind of one of those things that you kind of have to, you pay attention to it. All right. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I see some folks have joined us today. Hello, Marika. Hello, Cherie. Cecilia. Hello, Nilda. Thank you, friends, for joining me today. Especially since, it's so good and beautiful out. A lot of times when it's nice out, people don't want to be inside. They want to be outside playing while you can, It's still light. I don't know if you can see that, but here in Asheville, it's like, still light out. We have about another hour and a half before it's going to get dark. So if I weren't here, I'd be on a walk. Although we had thunderstorms earlier, and I went to try and walk beforehand, and these tree branches were falling. I was like, maybe I should not do this. Maybe, Anyway, I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to flip this camera around. Let's see. I'm going to set that up. So, I don't know what everybody else got up to in the last few days. My friend Eva came by, and her family, the author, Eva Gibson, she wrote Where Secrets Lie, and Together We Caught Fire. She's published and highly acclaimed. So proud of her. And it was fun. We went to the farmer's market. I got a ton of strawberries, and I don't know if you know this trick. My friend Joanne told me. She said, take a big bowl of water and then put some, like 2 tablespoons of vinegar in the water, and then you swish around your strawberries. Let them sit in the water for like 10 minutes or so, and then you rinse them. And they stay good and fresh, and they don't get that, moldering kind of action for a lot longer. They stay fresh longer. I did that, and it works. It works. They stay fresh for forever. Oh, here, I was just reading this the other day. This is my friend's book. This is her latest book. It's my friend Eva. We met. She worked at the Chevron bead store downtown. This is probably getting on to 20 years ago when we first met. We did the bead show circuits. And I'd be set up next to her at like the what is that? The show. What was it? Intergalactic Bead Show. It was so fun. We had a good time back then. I'm going to get this going. Oh, first I'm going to show you the materials. We've talked about these before. This is a super, super duper easy way to get a really pretty finish. And I showed a little bit before of how you can just add a quick patina that looks like a real, when I say patina, I'm talking about, I have one here to show you. It's a legit one that I used, Modern Options. This is so old. This is like 25 years. So this is when I say real, what I mean by that is this one I used, let's see, it was so long ago. So patina, if you know what an actual patina is, a surface treatment that you put on a metal statue, something metal. And usually it'll happen kind of on its own, you know, like it'll develop a patina. Like sterling will develop like this necklace. See, this is, it kind of, I didn't put liver of sulfur on it, or maybe I did. It's hard to tell now. Maybe I did. Liver of sulfur is another patina, and it gives it a kind of a rainbow look. And that's considered like a real one, you know. Oh, I see our friends. June. Hello, June. Hello, Allison. Oh, Mary. Hello. Oh, nice. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Oh, hello, Mary. She says, beautiful necklace. Yeah, this is one that's a cast shibuichi bezel, and I did a carving on the inside with polymer clay and then filled it with resin. So it gives it that encapsulated look. I'll take it off so you guys can see a little bit closer. So anyway, a lot of patinas are oxidizing the actual metal. And sometimes you don't want that because, like on a bronze statue, you're eating away the surface of the metal. And you don't really want it to keep doing that because pretty soon it'll be nothing. You know, you've seen statues that have become kind of like, well, they wear away, you know, the weathering. And so it looks beautiful. And depending on where you are, you get different colors. Sometimes it turns black, sometimes it turns green. A lot of times you get green. But what I want to do today is I want to show, can you give me a piece of cardboard? Azalea, I had a piece that I wanted to, you know, like some, oh, here's something. Hold on a sec. All right, I usually put a work surface down. All right, let's flip this. So this one we're going to do, it's pretty easy. Here's Azalea. Oh no, that's me. There's Azalea. She's ready. Oh, our friend Clem. Oh, you know, I forgot about the contest thing.
Oh, I have a question actually while we're talking about it.
I was working on, I was busy. Oh no, the one was miscellaneous. That's a miscellaneous. You can use choose your own adventure. Choose your own adventure. Has to have a Greengirlstudios, not the clasp. All right, so here we have. They can be together. It can be either one or the other. It's the moon. So here's one I did last week. Isn't that pretty? This is easy. You guys are gonna love it. So easy. And then here is the beads of courage. This is the castle that I patinaed, turned into hand painting. Okay, so you've seen before the other ones that I've done in the past. I did last week. So this is one with just the patinas. You can use these guys. I've got a bunch of these. My favorite is the new ones, so I have them separated into this little container right here. Now to get this look, what I have is I am using Pearlex powders. Now to get a color shift, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy to do. I showed a little bit of it before with this moon. So this is considered, I would consider this a very forgiving, like you can kind of just dust the color on. It's not quite as involved as, say, painting. Like this is, I think of it as like it's fully painted. There's not a lot of the metal showing through. So when you're wearing it, sometimes you can get the high points can be buffed off so that when you're wearing it, pardon me, it's not so like, it's not like, oh no, it's getting kind of worn. Oh, and the same with this ring. I forgot I did this. So this is the same way. I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay, so you choose your colors. I think I will do, let's see, what's something, oh, this is a good one for that. This has got a lot of room for that technique. It'll be perfect. So what you want to do is you want to wipe your piece down with a paper towel. You can use like a wet nap or something. This is to remove any sort of oils from your fingers or anything like that. Because sometimes if you have any kind of oil or dirt or something, or I don't know, whatever could be on there, and you don't want it to be on there. I'm going to set those aside because I'm messing up my jam here. I'm going to pick out a couple of them. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to decide your colors. In this case, I think I'll do, I don't know, maybe this pink for the top. Maybe squish down into this blue for the bottom. Oh, hello, I see some more friends. Hello, Jermaine. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Karen. Thank you all for joining me today. And I love this copper one. I think I might do it. See, that's this copper is that it gives it that just that little hint of a glow. I love it. And it's easy to do. So I'm going to lay these out and get ready. All right. Let me see. I got these brushes here. So you don't want to use your expensive brushes. That's not the time for that. And I use a lid. I recycle them. Anytime you can get away with recycling, it's a good thing, you know? And if it's too clogged up, you can always do one of these numbers or just get another one if it's time. It doesn't want to stick. These paints don't want to stick to the tops of these lids. That's why I use them. So then I can just do this number right here. Isn't that fun? Fun and easy. The only downside is if you have too much of this flake, it can get on your newest painting, and if you don't want those flakes on there. So sometimes that's when you would want to get a fresh one or put boiling water and let them sit for a minute. But don't let this go down the drain. These little things, they can clog up your sink. So, and ask me how I know that number. I don't know why I keep saying number.
We're going to determine the winners based on likes, correct?
Yep, that's how it's going to go. Zoe's working on. So we had a super busy week and company pretty much every day. And then when they left, we would hustle and work as though I was filling orders like crazy. She put together a bunch today. If you're waiting on that new mandrake that we just finished, it is on its way. We made the production mold. This is the one I'm talking about. Some folks added this to the order, and it is well and truly on its way. So if you're waiting on this one, it's almost done. No fear. Oh, and this is another. I did this ring. I kind of went hog wild with this treatment. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a bunch of rings with this. It feels good too. And you know what? I think it also forms a barrier so that if you are sensitive to brass, sometimes brass can make your hand, or copper, you know, copper will sometimes turn your fingers green if you have highly acidic skin. And what I tell people is, you know, is just wash your hands a lot, you know, or take, you know, sometimes if you have that kind of skin, you just need to wash it because it's interacting. It's like a patina that's happening live action on your actual ring. So what we're going to use today is this clear. You can use either of the clears from the patina, so they call them glaze. I need to get more of this, and you can see I used a lot of it, but I did like 50 pieces and I still have all that left. So you can tint with other colors, and I like to use this one for tinting. but it's not necessary. You can just get away with doing clear. But if you want to hit it with some other colors, that looks good too. Okay, so the first step we did was wipe that down. It's ready to go. I'm going to get some of this. Oh, Monique says she's asking about Marty. Well, Marty's still not feeling well. It was kind of a fiasco trying to... I don't know if anyone else has had to do this, and it sounds horrendous, but when we went to the vet, they couldn't collect his pee because he had already peed. And so then I had to trap him in the room and do this non-absorbent litter. You use this little tool, you use a head pin if it's clogged. That's just to get in there and open it back up. There's a spray and brush protection that can keep your skin clear. Yeah, I know. Those are good. That's good. This is a good option for that. Alright, it's really hot in my studio. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a spray. I don't spray too much, just a little bit of water. Boy, when this gets on your hands. Oh, I want to do this one too. This is one of my favorite pieces. We'll do that one next. So, I'm going to decide how I want this to look. I'm going to go with a copper. This is the copper. Remember to put the lid on right away. After you've gotten some of it, you just dab your brush in, dab some here, and I'm going to pick up a little. I'm going to pick up a little bit. And so the technique is you just sort of dot it onto, let's see. You just kind of dab it into the areas. I'm focusing right now on the background because I don't want to put too much on the highlighted areas because I'm going to wipe those off anyway. Alright, I'm going to rinse my brush off. I have a little bit of powder here. That should be enough for this particular project, or for this bead. Okay, I'm going to get some of...
Are the winners getting fancy necklaces?
I'm going to do charms. I'm going to do some
like
charms.
Custom charms?
Not custom, but I'm going to make some new charms.
Okay.
That I don't have. They're very new. They're gonna get some. The winners will get. I'm gonna just take a picture.
Are you gonna do 5 different ones?
I'm gonna do 5 different charms. I've already been working on it. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid on that. One time I knocked this down. That's why I'm so paranoid about leaving it. These will last forever unless you knock it off of your table. Okay, so the next color. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the clear. You don't need a lot. In fact, that's already dry for this on the piece itself. And I'm just going to dab that right in, right on top of that copper color. You can even mix it very gently. And what I'm doing is I'm getting kind of a watercolor effect that is, this is good because if you're wearing it, you're not, and it's in the low parts, in the recessed areas, you're not going to have this come off very easily. Sometimes if you paint a piece, it can be easy for the color to come off. Let's get some of this blue. Grab a little bit of that. Just a dab. And it looks so pretty, and it's so subtle. I mean, obviously you can go hog wild, but this to me just looks really good. It's a very ethereal. Now see how I did that? I'm just tapping it in. Just ever so gently tapping that in. Jillian asked, do I ever use the ultimate stains? Oh, my friend Tracy. Hello, Tracy. So wonderful to see you. My friend Tracy, she just got back from India. I've been enjoying her posts with all the beautiful photos. I do yoga myself, and I would consider myself a beginner. I have a class tomorrow for something called aerial yoga. It's a lot of fun. I went a couple times already and I love it. I'm going to get a whole rig. So the other thing you're going to want to do is if you get on a raised point, just wipe that. Just wipe away any of the high points. And so before your brush gets dry, make sure you give it a rinse. And then dry your brush pretty well. You don't want to water down. This is not the time to water down your paint, because if you do, it doesn't have as much staying power. I'm going to pick up some of this kind of a soft yellow. A little tap of that. And tap on. And while I'm at it, I have some of this. Just get some of that. It'll make it nice. This stuff lasts forever. You know what? I think I've had these same bottles. I don't even remember where I bought them, but they were on sale wherever I got them. I'm gonna get a little grab of that, just a hint. And I'm gonna highlight where the sun would be. Maybe in this area in here too. Yeah, I love it. Came out good. Maybe a little on this bird's body and wings. So that's how that looks so far. Now, I like it like this. You can do more, but you don't have to. So we'll set that one aside. Let's do this little one here. One of my favorites. You know, it's funny. It's my favorite ones are the more soft and simplified sculptures. When I carved this, it was like a fast carving. And I was like, I don't know if anybody's going to like it. But I like it, so that's enough. So I want to make this one look like a shell. I'm going to do a little bit of that yellow with pink. We'll do a little bit on each side. This one has an interference color. That means it is like two colors in one. If you hold it at another angle, it's like purpley blue in one light, and then when you hold it in another way, it looks more pink. So it's a very, very subtle, or it can be subtle. It can also be, you know, you can make it pretty wild too. But I think of it as subtle, like this one. You don't see a lot of the color, and unless you really look. Maybe more of that kind of gold at the top, or this color. I think the copper is one of my favorites. It's pretty saturated. And what I'm doing is I'm just tapping it into the recessed areas. I'm trying not to hit the highlighted areas, because those are where it's going to get, you know, hit, or, you know, when you're wearing it and it'll get dinged up. I'm going to rinse this. Oh, Sheree says, I really wish I used this with my pieces. I love it. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's definitely a subtle, and if you're not confident with painting, it's good because, you know, it's not over the top. And it's easy to kind of wipe off if you're like, ugh. You can wipe it really fast. You can sort of catch it. And so what I'm doing now is I'm getting some of the blue on the kind of the fin area. I think it looks good. This one is not as, it doesn't have as much pigment, I think. See? It's more subtle. The blue is definitely kind of, it doesn't have as much oomph as some of the others. I wonder if I have another blue. I just took those ones out of my container. You know what? This kind of reminds me, when I was working on it, it totally reminded me of a sea monkey. Sometimes we lose internet and I'm gonna say power, but I hear that thunder rolling in, so we might lose our stream. So I'll hopefully that won't happen. We were watching the weather and seeing, wow, it's supposed to be thunderstorming. Okay, so that one, we'll set that one aside and we'll come back to it. So the next thing is, if you have any pro polishing pads, can you grab me one? Oh, they're right here. So this is kind of like a sandpaper infused piece of foam. You can also use one of these things from, this is like a nail buffing, but Vintage has them. I have them for my nails. It has a thing where you can go the roughest and it will shine it up real nice. So if you're happy with it, then take this. And it's like kind of like bringing out your highlights. See that? You're highlighting it. Now, if you wanted to do this on the other side to protect it, say you didn't want you wanted to have it so that the other side is sealed. That's easy. Especially with a ring or something. And I did that on this. The brass doesn't usually bother me. Well, it doesn't bother me. Did I do it on this one? Oh, I did do it. Just because. I did that on there. Just because. So the way you do that, and I'm going to try and highlight the text. So we'll see how this looks and how I'm going to choose not the blue, because the blue is very, very subtle and doesn't want to show up. Let's try this gold. And I'm going to jab that in there. And I'm going to do it fast because this dries really quick. I'm going to get some pink in there so it gives it a kind of ombre effect. And I'm going to get the whole thing. This is if you're going to do a ring. And you would just leave it. But since I want the text to be highlighted, that might be too subtle. It just gave it kind of a rainbow effect in there. That's just wax. Don't worry about that. So you can see how that looks. You can see that orangey yellow is the where it pops. So I'm going to go back over this one. This is already dried. I can do this side now. I'm going to get a bigger brush. It's a little bit bigger. And since I really like that orangey color, I'm going to mix. You can mix these powders too, by the way. I'm going to hit those highlights, or not highlights. This doesn't really have a highlight area because it's all smooth. And it'll be subtle. You won't be able to see it as well.
Alright, I just finished the kit post on our Facebook group if anybody wants to go and see what that's about.
Thank you, daughter. We were going to celebrate our, kind of our 1 year. I guess it's been a little over 1 year since we started our Facebook group, the Greengirlstudios gang. Do blue at the top. So once it has that layer, you can easily, it picks it up. See how that happens? It picks it up ever so gently. So I started with just all, like that coppery kind of color right in here. Did basically the whole thing with light brush strokes. And this is all gold throughout here. And then I went back over the top with more of this blue. And it sticks. Now you can coat the whole thing afterwards and it'll look really pretty. It'll definitely look pretty because it kind of has, it grabs it. This stuff grabs really well. It's not tacky, so to speak, but I don't know how to describe it. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to let that sit a minute. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it the same way I did this. So after I'd painted everything or kind of tapped the color in, I wiped away any extra off of the highlighted areas so that it would pop. And the good thing, like I said, if you're wearing this and something hits it or it's on a bracelet, it's going to get a little bit dinged up. The same with this ring. So you see how the highlighted areas are where it's like the natural area of where it's going to get, worn. The recessed areas will keep the color, and that'll stay on there for a really long time. All right. Let's see, which one did I just do? Oh, here we go. So that's already pretty much dry. So let's hit it with this foam pad. Where did I set that foam? Here we go. So each side's a little bit, there's a different grit. You don't want to go the full grit unless you want it to be satin, because this will take so much off it won't be shiny anymore. It'll be more of a satin finish. So I just want to take a little bit off. I'm going to run that over it just like so. You could do that. The one that's the more gritty side is more aggressive. It'll take a lot off. Like here, I'll show it on this. I don't know if you can see that, but it'll turn it almost white. Or just, it's going right down to the bare metal. Which can be cool to highlight any of those little plants that are down at the bottom that kind of get lost. You see that? And I did this side the way I just showed you. And it makes it where the bare metal shows. If you want it to be more shiny, hit a pro polishing pad. Now, I like to put mine in my little convection oven. I'll put it in there for maybe 15 minutes at a low temperature. It's kind of like those paints, if you've ever used those glass paints from, it's like Martha Stewart made them for making stained glass. And then you could dishwash it. I haven't tried that, but it seems to make it, it's like it bakes it into place. Huh. Right, let's try it on this one. This one's ready to go. And you can see it just gives it that little bit of extra polish. Oh, Sheree says, would heat setting work with a heat gun? Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, I think that would work. Although, the only thing with that is that you might want to, you'd have to watch it so you didn't accidentally do too much. Because I feel like then the whole point of a heat gun is to strip paint. That's why that thing was even invented. So approach with caution, because then you can really take off too much. Yeah, that's highlighting the stars. That's a good idea. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, the heat gun, it's hot. I mean, you can You can, I mean, it's designed to strip paint, so. You know what I want to do? One that I've been thinking about painting. Let's do this little gargoyle. I think that's cute. I have some leftover paint here, and I want to use it. It's hot in the studio and also kind of humid. Oh, the Tim Holtz gun is one of your best investments. That's good. I have mine. I don't know what brand. I think it's a DeWalt. That thing has some settings on it that it gets hot. I'll try and get in there. I like this gargoyle bead. This is one that Greg made a while ago. Oh, you hear that? Hopefully we can keep going. Sometimes we lose power when we get thunderstorms in our area. So you can see that I'm going between what gives it the watercolor technique or the look is when you switch between two colors. It looks less that way if you just go one color. So when you're working with it, switch it up a little bit. You don't have to wash your brush. It'll mix on the actual bead. But it's to get that watercolor technique, you want to switch colors so it does have that look. He didn't do his face. Yeah, what do you think? Came out pretty good. Oh, that one won't blow the powder around. Yeah, that's a concern. When I'm using the uh, the heat gun, I put all that stuff away just because I don't want to deal with my art supplies getting messed up. My favorite thing is I have this little convection oven that I ordered, I don't know how many years ago, and it's designed to cook a chicken in it. But I use it for just my clay, polymer clay. So that one, we'll set that one aside. And it's fast. You can see how many you can get done. Ooh, this one will be a good one. This one I prepped already with clear. A lot of clear. Oh, hello, Dale. Hello, Cecilia. She says she can't hear the thunder. Or maybe you meant you can. It's thundering pretty good. I want more of that copper. I'm going to get some more of that copper color. I have a bunch of colors. They're so fun. I did try. You can use pigment powders, but some of those are kind of toxic, so you have to be very careful. I don't know if you know that, but sometimes, especially like the cadmiums, those guys, they're beautiful but deadly. Dale, I'm using Ultimate Paints. You can also use patina. This is matte. They come in gloss, comes in satin, I believe. And Pearl-Ex pigment powders. If you don't have Pearl-Ex, there are some that you can get that are for nail polish. And that looks like this. This one's a holographic one. So you can see it kind of right there. It shows up really well on black. I'll get a little bit. But when you're using it on these pewter pieces, it's just a kind of a nice rainbow color. It doesn't show up really well on clear. See, here it is on clear. This is what it's for. I mean, although when you're not supposed to use it on just your bare nail. You're supposed to use it with, like, nail polish. And I think UV resin. I think that was the point of it. It's for UV resin nails. Or those gel nails. So you can't really see it. It's more like, it's just a subtle, pretty, glittery effect. It doesn't really have much. I mean, I guess you can see it, but it's not, it doesn't have as much bang for your buck as like these Pearlex when you're getting those tints. So here I used blue on the other underside. That'll give me that kind of watercolor look. Yeah, I feel like that's the trick of it. To get a nice, it it won't look as flat also if you kind of switch up between colors midway. Oh, that pink again. Is that pink? Yeah, this one they call Duo Red Blue. It's not really red or blue. It's more like pink and purple. Oh yeah, eyeshadows will work. The reason they'll work is because you're just using the dry powders. Now, some eyeshadows, I will say, will have a little bit of oil in them, and I was using those on my doll repaints. I don't know if y'all remember, I do doll repaints every once in a blue moon. And the ones with oil, they kind of resist. Like they don't want to be there.
That makes sense.
They do not want to be there, and so they kind of fight with you. And they flake off a little bit. So look at your ingredients. If it's the kind of cake eyeshadow that's not a powder, like a lot of these that are loose powders like this, that's where it's at. That's the good stuff. The paint palette or the powders that are pressed, and I bought them to use for painting because I was like, hey, why not? I think it'll work. And it did. They did work, but boy, I had to fight with it, and I had to use a lot more of the glaze, and it was just different because I'm working that I was working on vinyl. All right, so I'm going to go in with this lovely copper. It's like a kind of that sunset color, and a little bit of that in the background. Actually, I should do something that's more contrast. Yeah, that's a pretty, it's a, this will stay on there because again, the areas that stick out the most are what's going to come off the fastest. And it's like the wear and tear. I'm gonna add that. So in theory, you could leave it like this. You don't have to do anything and it'll stay. Like nothing is gonna happen to that. But eventually, I mean, I have some pieces that I painted. The one that stays the most were testers. But that's like painting those little model kits, those little cars and things. That stuff will never come off. I have some pieces that I painted, I don't know how many years ago, and they look the same. But that also is you need to use paint thinner. You see I started with the yellow and then shifted to this blue? How pretty is that? And then let's mix and match and do some of the pink on this side. That's where you get the watercolor effect, is when you switch it up. See, so this side has a little bit of that pink glow. I need some more. Let's do another one to demonstrate it. We'll do the matte. This one's matte. Sometimes I'll use the matte as a base. And it works pretty well. You can see it's a little bit thicker. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate. Or what does that say? No, this is not the ultimate. This is just the patina. This is ultimate. The patina is a little bit thicker. It is thicker. And one of the things about it, if you use the matte, you kind of dull the shine. So keep that in mind too. Yeah, that glaze is good. I also, Dale says, I love this. I want to start metal painting. Do you need to seal the piece after painting? Depending on what you're going to do with it. Like I'd been wearing this around and I used this and it worked pretty well. It's been a week and a half maybe, and I'm wearing it every day. The highlighted areas I buffed off, but I also baked it in the oven, in my little convection oven, and it stayed. If you want to do more like a solid paint, like this is more solid, and like this is more solid, you can do that. And the same with this. I showed this a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and this was a different material. It worked okay, but it was a little chunky. I wasn't real happy with this blend of color. This one I tried to remove it after. I didn't like what I did, so I tried to remove it with a brush. It's kind of hard to remove. You can see that. See that? That was me trying to get it off. Oh, thank you, Dale. That's my adjustable mermaid ring. I carved that, I want to say last year. I don't remember now. All right. How do y'all feel? You feel like you got this? You think you can do it? If so, you can paint some. Show them in the group. Post pictures of your paint job. So these guys, the ones that I just finished painting, I'm going to set them aside. And I'm going to throw them into my little convection oven. Now, I can also go back over these. Although the point of this kind of paint type or paint technique is that it's fast and subtle and doesn't take a lot of time. It's pretty quick. You saw how quick that was. And right now I'm just taking off any excess off the highlighted areas so that you can see the metal underneath. And it doesn't look like, oh, there's a painted piece. It doesn't look quite as painted. It'll match some of the metal. Sometimes I think it looks too much when it's like this one. I painted it and I was like, man, that's almost too much. So I went on with especially that pink because it's a little bit wild, you know. But you know what? I did get so many compliments when I was at Franklin. People loved it. People were like, hey, what is that metal? And they're like, is that anodized? And I was like, listen, this is just ultimate patina paint. That's all. I like to compulsively highlight them. It's good times. My favorite part is like that little passage right in there behind its eye. I think that came out good. Cecilia, the question, how do you get it off? You're gonna have to go paint thinner. That's all, because I tried scrubbing it. Scrubbing doesn't, it's on there. That's why I like it. That's why people want it in the first place, is because it is very difficult to remove. Once it's dry and it's heat set, it's pretty hard to remove. Although if you ding it up, like I was saying, the high points are going to wear off because that's just the way it is. There's no paint unless you enamel it. And even then, you can still, it's like enamel itself can be cracked or something. This, at least, you know, it's not going to crack. So I'm going to separate the ones that were already baked. Oh, Dale, you'll need some. Get some with some background like that you can get in there and try this technique out. It's a lot of fun. And then you can also do this type of technique with it. They make a color that's patina green, I think they call it. And you can get exactly that look without having to get the ammonia or vinegar and salt and all that other business that you do to put on bronze. You just need to put it on and then you wipe it off. Yeah, the glaze is hard to remove. That's the whole reason people like it. If you don't want it to be, if you want to practice, then you can practice on some like inexpensive type beads and have some water ready if you don't like it quickly. Like if you just put it on, you can probably hit it in some water. I'll come back and use this up. What's it say? Lorraine asked, how long and what temperature do you bake them? Okay, so my little convection oven does not have a temperature reading on it. It has like 10%, 20% heat, and I will put it at the halfway point, which is probably like, I want to say it's like 250. And at that point, I'll put it in there for 15 minutes. You don't need to try and bake it to death, you know. You want it to have, I don't know. I would say I do it for 15 minutes, and they come out really well, and it doesn't seem to have any problems. I mean, eventually it kind of wears off the high points, but you know, we knew that was going to happen. That's why we polished some of it off. All right, little daughter, you ready? I'm going to wash my hands off. I'm going to set this aside if you would like to start for me. Okay, I'm going to wash my hands.
Okay.
You want to begin showing some of the lots.
All right.
Luckily, I have a bathroom right in here in the studio. You know, I don't know why I did my thumbnail with that. I'm going to have to sand it off.
I was starting your sweater and trying not to twist it.
Oh, thank you.
And let's close this up so I can set it there.
All right, I hope you guys got that technique. Oh, yeah, the Masters soap, I think that would. Well, it sticks onto your fingernails, and it sticks onto your skin really well. Okie dokie. I'm going to start with something cute. How many of these do I have? 4? All right.
Oh, the frog.
My froggy.
Yeah, the tag kept coming off, so you show it.
Okay. So here we have, y'all remember I made this tiny, tiny frog? Okay, well, this one's made in Shibuichi. Do you like that color? I do.
I do, too.
It has a hole on the side right through there. Pretty good size hole, about 2 millimeter, 2.5 mil. Look how cute it is. These were supposed to be for my private collection. And by private collection, I mean I'm going to put them on bracelets so I can see it. It would even make a good ring. That'd be cute. I made a ring that has a bigger frog, by the way. But this one is still cuter. All right. One of my very, very favorites. Looks like there's one left. Any takers for a tiny toad? Looks like that's it. Thank you, friends. Its face is even detailed. It's got a pleasant expression. I love it. Into it. I'm very into it. Everyone knows how much I love a frog. And then I'm going to show you all this one because I had people asking. So where's the bottom of it?
Which one are you trying to find?
I was trying to find the troll. I have a little pile of them here, but I can't find the tag of him. Does he have does the troll have a...
Yeah, it does. It's one of these. He probably just slid down. Unless he got pushed into one of the other ones. We have a tray with very few compartments right now, and so it is making it hard to keep the pieces organized. Here's
Okay,
pick something else for now.
Okay.
And I'll find the tag for that. I don't know where it went. I gotta look now.
What's this? Oh, strawberry. Strawberry. So I found this strawberry quartz during Tucson. We have one left. Azalea has it marked at 24. I slashed it. Let's make it 20. Let's just slash this one right now. I'm not going to slash everything. I got vet bills. I got to take Marty in on Tuesday. It's not open tomorrow. He's still not healed up, y'all.
He's a silly, goofy cat.
He's just extremely pampered.
Yeah, he's so tender.
So let's just do 20 on this. Do 20, 20, 20. Any interest in this beautiful strawberry quartz. I'm going to move this light in there to show. Oh, I didn't even realize. The light is always the challenge here. Jillian says, did the invoices for the sale on Wednesday go out? I believe they did. I'm pretty certain they did. Some of this is from Tucson. These are two. This is Petersite. I was happy to find it. Have you ever even seen it faceted? Petersite is basically tiger eye, but blue and brown. Let's do this. Let's mark it at 20.
How many did you have of 973? You have one?
I only have one.
Okay.
If there's any interest in 975. Okay, let me see this. What am I saying? Yeah, it's pretty. It's kind of like, God, I hate seeing my, I mean, even though it's kind of like rainbow, that's what it does. It's got that rainbow, but I use that glaze. It's not for your fingernails, but that's what it does. It's very subtle. Yeah, go on and look at that closely. I love these beads. My friend Raj was like, you will love them. I love how dramatic he is.
He is so dramatic.
He's the most dramatic. He's like, you will love it. I said, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you. This is silver. Look at this piece. Through the eye or through the tail could be I only have the one. I was keeping this in. I was going to make a necklace, but then I was like, listen, those Marty bills aren't going to pay themselves. So there you go. This is 144. Oh, Cherie, I did use soap on it. That's with soap, and I was like trying to get it off.
Oh, I laid out some for you on your left-hand side too.
Oh, thank you, daughter. I didn't see those. Thank you. Silver. Thank you, folks. Okay, I'm going to get... Okay, so this one I test painted in one of the lives. You can see that was...
That little blue.
She has a little bit... This is one that a bronze that I was demonstrating how to highlight. This one, I only have the one. I have it marked at 36. It's 147. Let's mark her to 30. That never happens on this piece. So it's 147. If there's any takers for that little number. She has a little bit of pink in her wings and a little bit of blue. Thank you. I need to put a side where there's a done pile.
Yeah, I was gonna get you a bowl real quick.
Yeah, get me a tray for my done so I'm not looking at the same ones. Okay, so we did a little bit of... This one's Shibuichi. $5.87.
Where's your done? Oh, you already put it back. Okay. You can keep going. I can grab it myself.
Okay, so that's $5.87. It's $28. Shibuichi is sterling and copper. That's what that is. This one I thought would make a good link like that because it has a hole on this side here and on this side here. So, or it could be like this, or my favorite way. And what I've done with it is I've wrapped things on that. So it was like this. It had a thing like that, and then I dangled things on it. So fun piece. Okay, I have one of these little Hieronymus Bosch keys. I make these every once in a blue moon. This, if you've ever seen the paintings of Hieronymus Bosch, he did the Garden of Earthly Delights and a few other really famous ones at the Prado in Spain. This key is in every single one of his paintings.
Put your finished ones in here.
I would like to know what I want to see the actual key, you know? Part of me thinks that's a real key. What did it open? Oh, this one's a new one. Well, new-ish. I have this one. I set it aside. It's 20 bucks, $8.92. It's sterling. And on this side, it's like a tree branch could be. And on this side is like the full thing. It's like the roots on this side, or almost like a leaf. But what that reminded me of when I was working on it is how things have a similar pattern throughout our universe. If you know what I mean. Like how, how like veins look like the veins on a leaf, and then the veins of a human. $8.92.
Good job.
Oh. Look how she tied that.
Okay. I couldn't get that knot through the hole in his head.
So I have the little Shibuichi trolls. They're 20 bucks. 145. I have some that don't have a scarf on. They look like this. Shibuichi silver copper. How cute. Oh, my other son Sam. Hello, Sam. And it's so cute. I don't have one yet, but I need one. Azalea dug it out of my pocket. She was like, "Do you have the other troll?" And I was like,
I was sending invoices. I was like, "Where's that troll? You put it in your pocket."
And she dug in my pocket and she found it. And it's so cute. And you know what? I'm going to show you guys something I'm working on.
How many does it say we have on the troll? Do we have 7 of them?
I think it said 7. I'll have to look at it again. Let's see who can guess what this is. What do you think this is going to be? This is going to be from the 80s too. And then what do you think this is going to be? This is the whole line of the 80s. Let's see if anyone can guess. Anthea knows what a gremlin is. Sam knows what a gremlin. Does anyone know what this bear? Any know what this bear is? Pat knows a Care Bear when she sees one. Coming soon. So I was asking Azalea, even though she's not from the 80s, I was like, what do you think I should do next? So how many did I say? There's 7 of them. Yes, it's a Care Bear. And Gizmo. Love it. All right, what else? Oh, I found these. I was going to keep them because they didn't sell. I made a bunch of them. There's the last, I believe these are the last 2 of these sapphires. Last 2. 28. I will mark them to 24. 337. These are those cut ones. I bought like 1 or 2 strands at all they had from my friends at, that I've introduced y'all to. If you remember my friends at Sona, Ruhi and Rupi. So before Tawny died, he had told me about some of these. This was probably 3 or 4 years ago. And he was telling me about some of the experimental stones he had cut. This is part of that group. There's only a few strands ever done. You will not find that anywhere. That's the last. I should just keep them. But anyway, I just marked them down. 337. If there's any takers on that. Now y'all get me in the mood to watch Gremlins again. Okay, what else do I have in my treasure trove? Oh, so this is also from some I got from Sona way back when. They're not a cheap date. Nothing over there. When you get the good stones, they're not cheap. That's just the way it goes. But this is the last of it, so I'll mark it down to 20. $3.98. These are like such good quality amethyst that's so perfect. Not dyed, of course, not treated in any way. So beautiful. That's $3.98. Okay, I have A couple of these, we'll mark these. Pink tourmaline, $3.97. I have two. We'll mark them because I've had these for a minute, so I'm gonna mark them down. I also have a kit. I bought a bunch of this. I bought like 4 or 5. I bought like I think about a hank of it because I was passionate about it when I got it. So I'm gonna mark those to, let's see, 24. $3.97. Any takers for that? Because if so,
Well, what was $3.98 a second ago?
that was the amethyst.
How much do we have of that? Just one?
Just one. There's only one. This is $3.97. And did I mark it 24? Yes, I did. Perfect. All right. What else do I have? Oh, I have this cherry blossom clasp. I know that some folks were asking. I did not have it last week. I have... Wow, Azalea marked that one cheap because I usually on the website, it's usually 24. But, because it's kind of a pain in the ass to get that little nub there. God, it never wants to come out. It has to be shot like 5 different times. 142, I have 2, 3, 4. No, I have 4 of them. That's a sale price. Because I don't have, that's not the Etsy or store listing. That's on sale right there. 142. The cherry blossom. A tried and true classic. Snake ring. This is a bronze one. I have 2 of these. This I dug out of my collection. You know how I use these. I like to hang things from a ring. Works good. So this is 148. 148. $18. The little snake.
We got 2 of those?
We have 2. Could be a ring if it fits your finger. But you know what? I like to just hang things from it. That's my use for it. That's 148 if there's any interest in that. They call this shape an Ouroboros.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Are you challenging me to spell it?
No, but you can. She wants to spell it and then say Ouroboros.
I do want to say it, but then I was thinking, do I actually know how to spell it? Let me see. Ouroboros. Ouroboros. Would it surprise y'all to know that I was a spelling bee champion in my younger days? Oh, here's one of this bronze thing. I'm going to mark this one. Toggle. Do I have any lotus charms? I do, but I don't have any in silver right now. I have them in pewter. The pewter that I've got them all day long. I have one that says enlightenment on the back of it. And I have a lotus. I don't see it now. It's on across from there. So we'll do this one at 15 or 14. We'll do 14 on that. Okay, I have one bronze moon. This is 22. Clem, that's so nice. Clem said you are multi-talented. Thank you. My friend said, maybe you have ADHD.
Wow. Nice.
I think they are being funny. That's Joanne. She says some funny things sometimes. 138. This is one of my all-time favorite clasps. I put it on everything.
The moon?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I put it on so many of my pieces. So many. Because it's such a good clasp. Here's one that I have it. Here's one right here. This one I set a sapphire in. So if it flips, guess what? It looks good on both sides. Okay, here's a not a cheap date because it's heavy. Heavy duty. Look at this big Luna moth. You can wear her where her fairy self is showing, or you can wear it where it's just the Luna moth and it's a secret that only you know about. I like to hang a pearl from this spot. It's drilled here and here, and you can see it's 143. Okay, what else do I have here? Digging around. Oh, I have one of these. Wow. Didn't know that. This is usually, my friend Diane usually gets all of these that she can get. This is $9.94. It's called the Roomy Bird pendant because it says such a pretty quote on the back. It's one of my very, very favorite quotes. It says, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do." Who doesn't love that?
I can fix it. I don't know what this hand symbols mean.
Oh, this is nice. That's cute. Shuri says, how about a classic gnome with his wife, not the modern gnomes, little animals to go with them. That's cute. I love a little gnome. Oh, so I have, oh, I have one of these, $18. It's usually, that's 20 was my Etsy price. That's the old price. This one is 18 if you need a mermaid.
I poked up.
Oh, good. Thank you, honey. So if there's any takers for that, what is it? 802. If you need a bronze mermaid. Alright. Oh.
So I was up and about. What is $9.94?
What is $9.94? I think that might be, that's the Roomy Bird.
Oh, there's one.
Now this is, when we were in Franklin a few days ago, we looked at the Tahitian pearls, and I was telling Azelle, I said, the sale price is how much I'm selling these, because I got these Tahitian pearls about, I want to say it's like 5 years ago, but it's actually probably longer than that, because it was way before COVID. So that's a Tahitian pearl. It has a little baby on it. These are really good quality ones. This is 28. I'll mark it to 22. It's a legit. I stood there with this gal. We sat there and I had my optivisors on. I'll wear them in public. I'm not afraid. So if you want a Tahitian pearl, you ever want one, now's your chance. You can get one, and you won't have to pay. Like, I figured it out because anytime I go, I've got my calculator, and I'm like, okay, how much are these going to break down to? And will anybody buy this if I have it and I show it? Because sometimes things are just expensive, And I don't know if people are going to get it. It's just, you buy what you like because you might be stuck with it. So I don't ever want to be stuck with something that I'm like, yeah, why'd I buy that? Although that has happened when I bought some things. It hasn't happened in a while. So I have 2 of these clasps. It's the sunflower clasp. The sunflower one, that's this necklace here. Check this business out. Look at this. This is high-graded tourmaline. Check that out. Can you even believe that? Bought that when you could get a, I mean, this was expensive way back when, but this is how this patina on this clasp, because I haven't polished it in forever. I just wear it. So it used to look like this, but if I polished it, I could get it back to that very easily. So I have 2 of them. It's $140. Dale, pearls are crazy right now. I couldn't hardly believe it. Same with amber. I was like, what is happening? Oh yeah, it has a little teeny baby on it. It's so cute. I went through and I picked out the strand that had the little dumplings on it. I think pearls that are, if you're a Baroque pearl, I want it to look like a Baroque pearl. I don't want it to look like it could just be glass.
Same.
Mm-hmm. So a pro polishing pad can clean that up. Yeah, there you go. I could even go more and take a toothbrush, but I like the oxidation in the cracks. Oh, thank you, Mary. Yeah, that necklace. That right here, not a cheap date. Not a cheap date at all. Look at this indicolite. Indicolite, that's a tourmaline. That's that color right there. And look at this one. Oh no, delightful. You know what? There was a traumatizing story. Y'all know Kay. I don't know if he would be mad at me for telling this story. But our friend John, Kay's husband, he was at, I think it was Bead Fest like 10 years ago. And he'd been showing off. He had a full necklace of indicolite tourmaline. That color, that cut. And I loved it. I always was praising him for that necklace. And the clasp broke on it. And I'd been warning him. I said, dude, you don't want to put that cheapo clasp. And he was like, it's not a cheapo clasp, it's a lobster clasp. But anyway, he lost it. So that was a horrendous day for all of us. Because we all went and helped him look for it. And it was during... No, indicolite tourmaline, a full necklace. It was like a $600 strand. Okay, so... This is 405. These are some pretty nice. Let me get it where you can see them. Garnets. Look at this. They call those the rhodolite when they have that kind of effect. This is that type of garnet right here. See, that's kind of glassy. I could show you. It's a deep, it's not orangey, it's more of the red. But I haven't marked it. They're marked down from 32. I'm going to mark it down even further. I know I spent a lot on those, but they've been sitting in my collection for a while, and I need to move them. So let's just say 24, just to get them out of here. Yeah, sure, it was a traumatizing day for all of us. We felt so bad because it was such an expensive necklace. But that's the color you could see right in there. Really beautiful. This, actually, I found this in Franklin. When we went, do you remember when we went rock hunting that one time?
Yeah.
That was part of that. I mean, that's the nodule. Garnets grow like this. And they also grow, I found these at a rock show. I'll show this because I love them. These are Japanese. I know, did you even know that Japan had garnets? But these are Japanese garnets. This was a lot for what, I didn't know, what are you going to do with it? You can't even drill it. They'd shatter if you tried to drill it. But these garnets, look, they have a flash. Isn't that crazy? They are very small, but they have a beautiful iridescence and they're kind of brown. And look what happens. I tried to drill one. I thought I could drill it, but look. Sad day for me. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Okay, so this is some really nice quality. I guess when I had this, people weren't feeling this sort of moonstone business. But I have, let's see, I have five of them? Yeah. 5 of these. This is $9.48. I have them marked at 14. These are pretty high quality. None of them are dead. And when I mean dead is when you do this and there's no shine. I call those the dead ones. They're not, obviously they're not, nothing wrong, but it's like an opal without flash. These guys all have flash. So this is $9.48. If you're interested, you get, we measured them out so that you get some of the white and some of this beautiful peach and some of this little bit of the gray. The gray was the least amount on the strands. So if you're interested, they're $14. I love them. I love the shape too, because it really highlights that they kind of look like, I think, the same family as Sunstone, that feldspar. I think they look awesome. So that's $9.48. They're $14 for this little hank. Good top quality. Can't beat that. Especially, when you can use all of them. I high graded them and made sure that none of any bad ones were on there. Okay, now this is a kind of a random one that I had here. So a long time ago, I'm talking like 5 years ago, Candy asked me to carve a wing for with roses. These were part of the mold. And she never picked them up. She never bought them. And so they just sat in a box. So if there's any interest in these are a wing. I don't know if she has any more on pewter. That was a limited run that we did for Candy Cooper way back when. It's probably, I don't even know how many years ago now. So I only have the 4. There might be 2 more that I haven't had a chance to clean up. But we made them in pewter. And the ones from, these are how we make the mold. So we did a batch of this to mold them. So this is part of that production. You keep one to, to make your mold from. You need one for a master. So it's $30. Doesn't have a lot on it. You didn't put a lot on this one, yeah.
What is that one?
It's that wing.
Oh. All right, hand it over. I'll put a lot on it.
Okay, Zoe's gonna
didn't
put a
realize
lot.
That one got left out.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. $149. If you want $30, you can get one of these pieces. There's only 6 of this in existence in bronze right now. We're probably not make more because that's like,
Where'd you put the
it's
Did you put that back?
it's right here. Oops. All right, it's $149. Any takers on that? You can get one. They have a beautiful, like, look at it. It's kind of has. This is what I was talking. This is the natural patina. So this has been sitting in a box. I dug this out, and I don't know if you can see that, but they have kind of a pretty color to them. You know, they're all a little bit different. Like this one kind of got that. It's almost like a real bird. That's $149. Azalea's for sure winging it. For sure. Has a lot of cute little details. This is the one she drew. She drew it on a cocktail napkin and sent it to me. It was pretty fun. I know we need to do another collab. That reminds me, I need to get my act together so I can get all the new stuff I've been plotting and planning for the retreat. Oh, I've been clutching this one. So there's a little mushroom clasp here. So this one is pretty cool. Let's see if it works with this. This is how it goes. It's like this. This isn't made for this. That's why that's not going to work with it, but it sits like this. Obviously, you wouldn't do some big beads with it, but that's lot 984. That little mushroom. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and maybe not big beads, but I was just demoing how that looks. Maybe use leather would be a good one, or like crochet. So that's $9.84 if you're interested. $14. This little hand cast bronze mushroom toggle. Okay, I have 2 of these left. This is part of the latest shipment. This is sterling, and this one is brass, and this is wide load. Look at that, to put a lot of giblets in there. Let's see how much. Put something in there. Oh, ooh, you know what would be good with this? Let's get these puppies out and see what happens. See if it's wide enough. And it fits, yay! So it has a little screw on those. And you can make like a little.
What did you put? Oh, you put them right here.
Little jingle. These are just getting labor intensive to make. Real labor intensive. We'll get them for as long as we can afford them, but it's a lot of work to make this. I mean, that whole piece has to be cut out. There's a little hinge, and the workshop that our friend uses is a closed workshop, meaning they don't make any of this stuff for anybody else. And for now, we can still make, and since people are still buying them, it's like one of those things, you know, you make them for as long as you can. This is my favorite one, of course, the silver. And it opens the same way. Twist the nut at the top. I made one of these and I painted Kate's eye. I don't know if you guys know this, but Kate Richburg has beautiful blue eyes. And we're at a show and it was getting kind of boring, so she sat for me and I painted her eye, and then we put it in one of these little glass lockets. So that's $141 if you'd like a larger one in sterling, and this one is $58. It's a double wide for like crystals and things. Some of them, they're all a little bit different because this amount is how much room, the depth. All right, I think, you know what? I think I'm done. I think I got through everything.
Good job.
Thank you. All right, so if you're watching on replay and there's something you like, just email at that email address at the top, and it'll all be good. Can you bring that
What am I bringing?
that thing over to the stand?
Oh.
I'm going to switch it. We're switching it up. Mary asks, how long does it take for us to receive an order? Mary. It depends. If you have several orders that are, like if you got something on Wednesday, say, and, oh, need to switch it first. So it depends. If you get something and it's just one of these lots, it's like, and it's not, and you don't have anything else, then it can ship, then it's done. But say if you want to combine some stuff and you get something like, you know, something that has to be made. For example, this little guy. If you put anything that I have that's on the to make piece and it's not done yet and you're waiting on that and you want it to be combined order, you can just let us know. You can say, hey, I'd like it to ship, and then we'll ship it. If you want combined, then we combine everything. But if you're waiting on one piece or waiting on this, then that's the amount of time. This is going to take another, say, 3 days before we'll have them done. So just keep that in mind. Everything we make here, and we try to do a good job packaging and everything, so it's not, you know, just thrown into a bag like I did with my ring light there. So keep that in mind. Oh, thank you, Dale. Dale says, I pretty much only use your pieces in my jewelry. I always get major compliments on them too. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it 100%. So thank you all for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot about how to do that watercolor technique on your pewter. You can do that on bronze, you can do that on shibuichi, you can do that on pretty much any kind of metal, I would think. There's no metal that I can think of that wouldn't work. So enjoy that, because it's a fast, fun way. You can do pretty much any color combination you'd like. And if you want, show pictures. Put them on our Greengirlstudios gang group. And Azalea just listed the competition rules for that. So if you want to get involved, you can add 3 pictures per category. So try it out. It's fun. It'll be fun. And I'm going to give some pretty good prizes. I've been working on them all week. It could be a gremlin. You may get a gizmo for just posting a picture of something you're going to make anyway. How fun is that? So fun. Oh, Dale says she'll come help me one day. Bring it. Come on, let's go. Oh, Jillian's asking if you got the list. Everyone wants to see that list. She will do it. Thank you, Cherie. Thank you, friends. I really appreciate everyone showing up for us. It's been stressful. We had a lot of company. Marty's been sick. We got to take him to the vet again, and he's got the when he's anxious. He's a little bit of I don't want to say spoiled.
Tender.
He's just, how do you say it? He is
Sensitive.
a fragile cat. And sometimes when there's mess or there's stress, he doesn't like it. And he gets, bladder problems. So,
All right, if you want me to share the list, I gotta do that now.
okay, Zelia's
just
she's gonna
share
pop
the
that list on there, and so y'all can take a look and see.
All right, May 26th, lots 138 to 149.
He's so tender. He's my darling. All right. Thank you, folks.
Here we go.
Do you want to close out with me, my sweet daughter?
Okay. All right, y'all don't say anything, but I look real nasty and
She
sweaty.
says nasty, but always glowing and
Sweaty.
lovely.
Lips chapped, dusty.
So
Thank you guys
sweet.
for watching us tonight.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all y'all out there, and we hope to see you on Wednesday. And we have we were working on last night. I was working on waxes pretty much all night long, and that didn't make it for this day, but it's done for Wednesday. So show up for Wednesday, and you'll see some really pretty silver pieces. 4 of them have sapphires. So if you want to see that, come to our show on Wednesday. All right, friends, we'll see you later. I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye-bye.